small, fierce, ready for anything. Today we're diving into the world of ultra-compact shotguns, the ones that punch far above their size when it comes to home defense. If you're after a firearm that's easy to maneuver yet still delivers serious stopping power, you're in the right place. We're lining up some of the most powerful pocket-sized shotguns on the market, so you can decide which one deserves a place by your bedside. Hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment about which of these beasts caught your attention. SS211 Mini Over-Under. Think of the SS211 as a survival-minded compact with surprisingly sensible ergonomics. That 10-inch barrel and stubby stock give it the look, and the capability of something designed for when space is limited, but threat stopping remains a priority. At roughly 4.5 pounds and just 23 inches overall, it's light enough to carry all day, and short enough to move through hallways without tripping over door frames. One big advantage is the removable barrel. When you need to stash the gun in a pack, safe, or vehicle compartment, the longest single piece measures about 16.5 inches, far easier to conceal than a full-length shotgun. For defensive use, pairing it with 1.75-inch mini shells tames recoil and keeps follow-up shots manageable, making this a friendly platform for newer shooters or those sensitive to heavy kick. The walnut stock and aggressive checkering aren't just for looks, they provide traction when you're wearing gloves or when your hands are wet, which matters when the adrenaline hits. On the downside, small over-unders can be slower to reload than tube-fed pumps or semi-autos, and the short sight radius makes precision at anything beyond point-blank ranges optimistic. But for bedroom defense, quick presentation and ease of storage, the SS211 is a compelling, low-stress option for people who want a shotgun that's more tool than tactical showpiece. Best for bug-out kits, new shooters, homeowners wanting a low-recoil compact that's still intuitive to operate. Quick tip for the host: emphasize how the tactile feel of the checkering and rubber butt pad makes it comfortable for repeated handling during drills. Henry Axe .410. The Henry Axe is one of those guns that sells an idea as much as it sells performance. It's a lever-action shotgun with an axe-style grip that looks like it belongs in a movie poster. And that's part of the appeal. It's not the most practical tool on the block, but its charm is undeniable. Classic lever mechanics, side-gate loading, and a carryability that feels almost romantic. Performance-wise, the .410 Henry gives you light recoil, easy carry, and fast lever work for those who practice it. But it's also a niche choice. The lever action limits magazine capacity and reload speed compared to modern pumps or autos. And while .410 slugs and buckshot work, they won't generate the terminal energy of larger gauges. That said, in close quarters where maneuverability and rapid pointing matter, the Henry's smooth cycle and compact form make it surprisingly competent. Why someone might choose it? You get an unusual balance of tradition and practicality. A beautiful walnut stock, smooth lever throw, and side gate for topping up without dumping the tube. It's as much a conversation piece as a defensive tool. Be candid on camera. It's for people who want personality alongside capability, not for those who demand maximum magazine capacity or the hardest-hitting round. Mossberg 590. Shockwave .410. The Shockwave has legendary status for a reason. It's compact, simple, and effective. Most people picture the 12-gauge Shockwave, but the .410 version is an underrated compromise for those who want reduced recoil but retain spread and intimidation factor. At just over 4 pounds, it's extremely maneuverable in hallways, cars, or tight stairwells, places where a full-length shotgun becomes clumsy. A short barrel increases pellet spread, which can be a feature in extreme close quarters where precise aim is less realistic than a rapid, addressable pattern. The Shockwave's ergonomics, especially the bird's head style grip, lend themselves to fast presentation and low fatigue over time. It's also rugged. These guns are workmanlike and built to take abuse. Drawbacks include reduced effective range and less energy compared to 12-gauge loads. For everyday home defense, though, that's often acceptable, especially if the alternative is a gun you won't want to handle because it's too heavy or awkward. Mention legal considerations briefly and accurately on camera. Configurations and local restrictions vary, so check jurisdictional rules before suggesting storage or vehicle carry. Solen SR410 Revolver Shotgun. The SR410 looks like a bold experiment. A revolver cylinder scaled up for shot shells, but it works in practice. By combining a revolver-style cylinder with a shotgun chambering in .410, Solen created something with distinct advantages: intuitive reloads, predictable trigger pull feel, and a compact footprint that's easy to manipulate at the hip or in tight spaces. This updated version stretches the length of pull to about 13.25 inches and adds a 12.2-inch barrel. Small changes that make a big difference for aiming and recoil control. At approximately 4.5 pounds and 24 inches overall, it's still highly portable. The swing-out cylinder reloads more like a handgun's than a traditional shotgun's. That's familiar to many shooters and speeds up practiced reloads. You can run it double action for fast follow-up or cock the hammer for a lighter single-action first shot. Remember to address .410's limitations. Pellets are smaller and less energetic than 12-gauge. However, .410 slugs deliver more muzzle energy than many pistol calibers and can be effective in close defense. The revolver layout also reduces tube feed complexity and can be more reliable under certain conditions. Genesis Arms Gen-12 PDS. For fans of AR ergonomics who want serious shotgun performance, the Gen-12 PDS is a compelling bridge. This AR pattern 12-gauge is engineered to solve typical cycling problems that plague short-barreled AR shotguns. The short 5-inch reciprocating barrel paired to the system reduces violent gas impulse and keeps the action reliable on common 2 3/4-inch loads. The reduced recoil signature is a standout. It makes fast follow-up shots more realistic and keeps the platform pleasant for rapid drills. Genesis packs practical accessories in the box: a free-float M-lock handguard, PDW stock for compact storage, rubberized hoe grip for traction, and an EOTECH-style red dot for instant sight acquisition. When paired to the advertised suppressor/muzzle system, concussion and muzzle rise fall into a range that's usable for indoor scenarios. Cons: despite recoil mitigation, it's still a 12-gauge. You'll feel it. The compact configuration also makes legal classification and transport something to be aware of. Mention the need for local compliance without offering legal advice. Overall, it's one of the more polished AR-style shotgun offerings. Predictable, modular, and user-friendly. Best for users who want AR ergonomics and customization with 12-gauge power. Host note: call out the included optic and accessories as real value propositions that make setup easier for viewers. IWI TS12 Bullpup. The TS12 is the surprising powerhouse pick on the list. It's slightly longer than a Shockwave in footprint, but its bullpup layout concentrates barrel length into a compact package and yields a remarkable 15+1 capacity across 3 rotating tube magazines. That capacity transforms the TS12 from a reactive room defender into a suppressive, sustained fire platform when the scenario calls for it. Operation is gas-driven, and the rifle remains surprisingly tame for a 12-gauge of that size thanks to internal systems designed to soften recoil. The manual tube rotation is a practical compromise. It adds a unique handling step but allows the design to double or triple capacity without significant weight penalty. IWI kept ergonomics sensible. Reversible charging handle, M-lock slots, and Benelli choke compatibility make the TS12 adaptable and serviceable. On the flip side, the bullpup layout takes training. Users used to traditional pump or stock layouts need time to master indexing and reloads. Also, it's heavier than most compact options, but weight distributes differently thanks to the bullpup balance. Rock Island VRF-14. If you want an AR-style interface, but with shotgun power, the VRF-14 is in that lane. The ergonomics feel familiar. Full-length top rail for optics, roomy handguard rails, and a hand-filling pistol grip that makes controlling the gun much easier than some thin-forced grips. The charging handle rides on the bolt carrier and reciprocates, giving tactile feedback similar to an AR platform. Magazine-fed shotguns like the VRF-14 shine when you want rapid reloads and quick magazine changes. The ability to carry preloaded mags changes how you plan for a defensive engagement. Rock Island ships a 5-round mag, but supports higher capacity VR series mags. That modularity is a big plus. However, box magazines and short stocks combine to produce sharper perceived recoil with heavy loads, so make that clear. This gun is fun to shoot, but with 3-inch shells it will bite. It's ideal for those who want tactical reload speed and accessory flexibility, but be honest, ammo selection and ergonomics make a big difference in how manageable the platform is for repeated shots. Standard's SP12 Compact. The SP12 Compact lives up to its cinematic looks. 14.5-inch barrel, bird's head grip, and form that screams tactical. What's smart about the design is how it combines short overall length with a 3-inch chamber and bottom feed eject mechanics that keep ejection predictable and ergonomics favorable for right or left-hand manipulation. The full-length Picatinny top rail and M-lock slots make it trivial to mount a light, optic, or a close-range red dot. Features that matter for actual home defense. Because it avoids a stock and keeps its overall length outside the short-barreled shotgun rules in many jurisdictions, the SP12 Compact is a tactical tool that's legally simpler for some buyers. That said, lack of a conventional stock can make shooting stout loads uncomfortable. It shines with lights and laser setups that let you maintain situational awareness in low light. A big plus for urban defense. Serbu Super Shorty. The Serbu Super Shorty is the go-anywhere 12-gauge. Built from proven Mossberg or Remington platforms, this tiny shotgun sacrifices range for unmatched portability. A 6.5-inch barrel, 16.5-inch overall length, and basic, brutal functionality. You get 2 rounds in the magazine tube plus 1 in the chamber. That's not a lot. But what you do get is absolute maneuverability that's hard to match. This category of firearm is controversial. The recoil is substantial, and shooting slugs is unpleasant for most shooters. But used intelligently, as a last resort home or vehicle deterrent, it's a very real tool. Because Serbu registers these as any other weapon with a relatively inexpensive administrative step in the US, enthusiasts often own one for collection or novelty reasons. But it can be treated as a serious close-quarters option with the right mindset. Best for those who prioritize absolute concealability and intimidation at point-blank ranges. On-camera caution. Be frank about recoil and limited capacity. Don't glamorize as an everyday carry. It's situational. Axer FSS Mini. Axer FSS Mini brings something modern to the compact class. A folding, semi-automatic 12-gauge with a 14-inch barrel that collapses down for transport. The semi-auto action smooths follow-up shots compared to a pump, and the tube magazine under the barrel holds 5 rounds including 1 in the chamber. A useful compromise between capacity and compactness. The folding stock makes it packable. The polymer furniture helps control weight and reduces fatigue during handling. Standard Picatinny interfaces make it updatable with lights and optics. Price point, around $449 retail mentioned, makes it accessible to shooters who want a high-utility compact without a massive investment. Performance caveats. Semi-autos have more parts, and in extreme environments they need maintenance. Also, folding mechanisms add moving parts that must be treated as service items. Still, for a compact semi-auto that tucks away and deploys quickly, the FSS Mini is a practical and modern choice. Charles Daly Honcho. The Honcho is the budget answer to the Shockwave trend. 14-inch barrel, bird's head style grip, and no stock to keep legal complexity down in many places. It's a practical, no-frills compact shotgun built with an aluminum receiver and steel barrel. The rubberized grip and ribbed forend promote control, and the added short rail lets you tack on a light for real low-light usability. Compatibility with both 2 and 3/4 inch and 3-inch shells gives you flexibility in load selection. Run mild birdshot for low recoil or heavier buckshot if you want more terminal performance inside a home. At about half the price of premium Shockwave options, the Honcho is an attractive, pragmatic choice for defensive storage in a truck or as a budget home defense tool for those who understand its unique handling. Best for budget-conscious buyers who want compact capability without the premium price. On-camera angle. Be honest about its learning curve. Stockless designs handle differently and require familiarization for safe, accurate use. So there you have it, the smallest, toughest, and most unique shotguns ready to guard your home in 2026. Whether you want something tactical, futuristic, or just plain wild, there's a compact shotgun built for you. Which one would you trust for home defense? Drop your pick in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more The Armory firepower features.